Hi everyone, it's Marie from Intuitive Healing in Katikati in the Bay of Plenty, New Zealand. Don't worry about this. This is me getting sunburnt, desperate for a bit of sun out there after all the rain and the storm and everything that we've had here. This is just a quick short about holistic health, talking about integration, really, I suppose, and the way to integration and the way to fullness and wholeness, and optimum living. You know, everything is individual, so there's nowhere to get to. There's just if you want to do improvement on your energy levels and on your physical health and on your mental health and on your emotional health, then this might make a bit of sense. Thinking about energy and thinking about source. So the body, we've always heard the body is, or that the human is body, mind, and soul. So 3 parts. And body is the hologram in the soul. So the soul is your aura, your field, and it's coming from source. So source is the whole, you know, the beginning and the end and everything in between. And it comes down and we are encapsulated, each individual living creature, whether that's a tree or an animal or a tiny little ant or a human, we have the soul field. And in that is the mind, and with the soul and the mind creates the body and the image of the body. And so the body changes when we change our mind. That's why we have up days and down days, and some days we can look really tired or we can look really under the weather. It's all because of the state of, or not all, it is a combination of the state of the body, the mind, and the soul. And so it's true that we've found out that when you change your mind, you can change your body. And that is to say that belief plays a big part of our issues, our physical issues, our behavioral issues. And so the component that we don't talk about a lot is the soul component, and I want to bring that back in and make it just as normal as talking about the mind. So the body and science is finally kind of catching up and teaching us that, or teaching, you that there is the body gut instinct. They call that the gut brain, and then there's the heart brain, and then there's the physical brain. I would add to that, and I would describe it like this: the body uses the intuition of the gut, where your gut instinct is. Your heart uses the soul mind. That is your portal to love, to the love of the universe, to the love of the creator. And so that is what I would call your soul mind, your heart. And obviously your brain is your computer that runs the body. And your soul has a mind which is connected to source, and all of the wisdom is available through the soul, then through the heart, which is through the chakra, which is connected to love. The body gets to know answers by way of senses and intuition, and that's what keeps you safe. If you were primal, it would be your instincts that would keep you away from fire. It would keep you away from weather events. It would keep you away from animals. You would be listening to all of your senses, and your gut brain, your gut intuition would be tipping you off and giving you sensory input, and all of your senses with that in the body. So you have your soul mind, which comes from source, which is informing your aura, and it comes through your heart. So the health of your soul and the health of your aura depends on how open that crown chakra is for the light of source and the light of your creator, an electrical light to come in, photonic light, and then be dispersed through the body and the chakras. So your chakras that are in your soul that come through and feed the body want to be open. Like, think of it like an eye. They want to be open, wide, and not contracted. I can never get the word dilated. Dilated is closed, right? Or open, I can't remember. But you want that chakra to be nice and open. And the chakra will open and close as and when it needs to protect you from energy. And then when it feels safe from energy, it will open. And children are very open, very, very, very open. We learn through our life that the mind can control these energy portals, and we have got into getting stuck with them closed at a lower aperture. And so what we're learning through health and through holistic health is to sort of bring the body back into its natural form, which is when you have fear, you're going to block up that love chakra. When you have a lot of anger, you're going to block up that heart chakra. So it's very difficult to feel love and think of it as energy fueling the body. It's very difficult to have as much energy as you need to run the body if it's not coming through a nice wide aperture and energy outlet, energy corridor. So with the emotional release that I do, the journey, that's why it's so important, because the intuition is very important to keep you safe. We want the body to have natural senses and we want to trust them. The mind is the one that has learnt to not trust our own body instincts and to outsource to parents, to partners, to teachers, to governments, to la da da. So we're trying to bring back that connection to the body. Now, the thing about the soul is that it's a beautiful place to be. It feels very, very wonderful to be in your soul. And when you have been a growing child, you might have experienced trauma, or even a young person, adolescent, and even a young adult. You experience trauma and you feel with your senses in your body, pain or emotion that feels painful. So a lot of us haven't learnt the emotional tools to deal with emotions, and it might actually even have been due to physical pain. And we leap out of our body into our soul, and our soul is into our aura. And our aura can be kind of thrown out and off our body a little bit. It's not real. It's not true that it can be thrown off the body, but it can be kind of shifted and tilted and adjusted and sort of, not quite in alignment. And when we live in our soul, or we might have leapt into our mind, body, because these are all layers of the oversoul. These are all layers of the aura. You have the mental, the emotional, and the physical, and the spiritual, and the astral, all these sort of layers of energy around the creation of a human being. The body is the third dimensional density. That's the slow moving energy. And the lighter moving energy is the mind, the emotions, the emotional body, the mental body, and the soul body, and the astral body. We can't see that always with our our physical eyes, but with our third eye we can. This is a bit of a ramble, sorry. I thought I was getting on to be quite clear, but it's sort of leading into lots of different areas. But what I want to say is that those of us that have leapt into the mind and out of the physical body due to pain sometimes get stuck in the mind. And we get so familiar with living in the mind, thinking that the thinking and the hypervigilance will keep us safe from pain, that becomes a very comfortable place for you to always be hypervigilant and always be on guard, protecting the body from pain. But it can disassociate you from your body, and it's very difficult to feel emotions. And if you don't want to feel pain and you don't want to feel emotions because they hurt, you shut that down and you start to suppress it. Unfortunately, what happens when the mind suppresses emotion, it's categorically all emotion. It's all strong emotion. That's the message from the mind. I don't like strong emotion. Anger scares me. Pain scares me. Grief scares me. Hatred and aggression, all, that kind of thing scares me. So I'm going to shut it down. But what you're doing is you're shutting out strong emotion. Strong emotion is love. Love is a very strong emotion. Joy is a very strong emotion. Happiness is a very strong emotion. Self-worth, contentment, these are very strong emotions. And so when you blanket over emotion to protect yourself from feeling pain in the nervous system, you are shutting yourself down. And same for the person that has experienced a trauma or had a shock and leapt out in a shock into the soul. They are the ones we would say are quite ungrounded, people that have been labelled, and it's sad because they're the child that will stay airy-fairy or ADHD all over the place, because the energy is just moving really fast and not grounded. Bipolar people that have been labelled bipolar, they're actually just ungrounded minds and bodies and souls. So what I want to encourage this year is to maybe have a conversation with me, a conversation that we can discuss more on this topic of where am I sitting in myself right now? Am I embodied fully? Am I feeling all my emotions and not afraid of them, and even the strong ones? Am I disassociated in parts where I'm very much up in my mind, or I would rather get high using alcohol and drugs or shopping or sex or avoidant issues to get out of my mind and out of my body and up into my soul, or a person who's just all about the spiritual and just going up into the spiritual nourishment of all those wonderful spiritual things and avoiding the pain down in the body. So it's good to just have a little stock take and see, what am I like? What is my behavior? What are my patterns? What is it that I do when a scary situation happens? How do I handle things? You might have a few things going on where you are disembodied is what's happening. And when you're disembodied, when you're displaced, when you're out of your alignment with your aura, that's when you can be open to have entity attach and parasites in the house. Because when you are afraid of your own body because it has emotion and the emotion is painful, you're rejecting parts of yourself. You're rejecting the whole of you. And when you're rejecting, it's like leaving an apple on the bench and just rejecting it. You've taken some bites out of it and you've put it on the bench, and then you've run away from it. But that apple will deteriorate and it will oxidize and it will attract insects and bugs and parasites. So the body, when left without your love, without your awareness of unconditional love of some of the strong, painful emotions, areas of the body can start to have dis-ease, and that's where your blockages will start, and that's a snowball effect where lots of other things go on from the area that you're rejecting. Today I did a journey on a certain issue and ended up in my spleen again. I've visited my spleen again, but it needed more venting. More anger was wanting to come out, and so I did a journey, and out came a lot of anger, and that's already, I could feel my spleen detoxing, and that transpires into that area of the body not being rejected. So therefore, the health of the body, it's able to dump out negative energies, negative, harmful kind of emotion that can go toxic. That's your toxicity, bitterness, pain, angers, things like this, that stay unresolved. They can turn toxic in the body, in your energy flow. Think of it like rivers, like we know about the blood. The blood is veins and capillaries and arteries. The soul works through the body from our chakras and from source, through meridians, and that's what the beautiful other cultures in the world that have got so much information, that Asian and the Egyptian and the European, like a lot of other cultures know a lot about meridians. And this emotional release is truly transformational because it changes the energy, unlocks the energy that is sitting, that can turn toxic, that can create disease, that can affect your behavior. So have a thought about the word embodiment. When you're in your body and you have maturity, so usually later in life, you start to look at your behaviors and you start to look at your pains, and you have a lot more courage and you have a lot more insight and wisdom, and you can not run away from strong emotions like anger and grief and sadness and loss. Pain and anger and frustration and hatred and all those things that we don't like to even think that we're feeling, but we are. You can start to empty them and clear them through journey work and other modalities like that. Now, the word wisdom that I just touched on, wisdom comes from the holistic experience of body, mind, and soul, getting the whole information of an experience. It's so a lot of people are sort of wondering, I feel so dumb sometimes, and why can't I get that? Why can't I get access to that intelligent part of me? Why can't I have this relationship go right? I always do these things and it gets ruined, or I sabotage it, or whatever, and you beat yourself up in your mind about certain things. So you've got, again, body, mind, and soul, and the three of them together are designed to work together, not really disassociated from each other. And this world, this matrix, and this programming that's always been by design to disintegrate your three vital human holistic parts of you, this amazing being that is the human being, and it will keep you dumb. It will dumb you down if you are blocked and disassociated, and it works, and you can see it, right? You can see it in society, and further things in our lifestyle will further dumb it down because there's suppressants like alcohol and other drugs that are designed to suppress. Not talking about cannabis, that is designed to heighten your awareness and connect you to soul, but drugs that have been man-made and manufactured or interfered with and abused and keep us masking our emotions and our symptoms. So what I would love for you is to have a reflexology with me, or in your own town, or an acupuncture, or an acupressure, or something that starts to integrate the body, the mind, and the soul, and starts getting you identifying each one of those three parts of you, but how you may have areas of disconnection and disassociation, because in order to function, you need all the energy coming through the body. And those that know about stealing our energy know that the body can run on very little energy. It's not enjoyable, and you really do suffer in your life through not having all of the 100% energy that comes in from your crown chakra. That's what the fontanelles are. When you're a baby, the fontanelle at the front is for your pituitary gland, and the fontanelle at the back is for your pineal gland. And the photonic light from the Creator, from Source, comes through the body, through the aura, through the body, and into the energy system in the body as well as outside the body. And so we need that photonic light. And you do have 100% coming in all the time, but the mind has kind of been the gatekeeper, and if it's disassociated, it doesn't let the body get nourished 100%. You know, that's where you get your shutdowns in health. You get your shutdowns in pain and discomfort and tension. When you lock up tight, when you start to contract the body, you're doing so because of the mind. The mind's had thoughts, it's had beliefs about itself, it's had beliefs about life, and it starts to try to protect through fear, and closes the heart through fear, or it's very angry, and it hasn't ever really resolved that anger or released that anger. So the body is holding that anger, or grief, or sadness, or loss, or trauma, anything. So the muscles of the body, the entire body, can't hold that forever before something breaks. And that's what we're seeing in your health. And so energy really is the most important component of physical living and physical health and physical joy and physical love and physical empowerment to be the human that you potentially can be in this experience. Wherever you're at is fine. This is not about being perfect by any means. This is by offering you a way back to giving your body 100% of the energy that is pumping all the time, from source to soul, and then from soul through the mind and into the body. So we start with the energy, and then we go to the mind, and then we go to the emotions, and then we will unlock the body. The body's actually the last thing, and that's what is inverted on this planet, is they try to get you fixing your physical health first, but not addressing your mental health or emotional health or soul connection. And it's a little bit of, just keeping you a client of Big Pharma, that you might get relief from the physical body's pain for a short time through prescription medicine or recreational drugs and alcohol, or through whatever you're doing, running, exercise, dancing. All these physical things are a great relief for a short time, but you have to keep doing them to get that endorphin high and to feel those higher feelings which reside in the soul and the heart, which are your love and your happiness and your joy. So keep up the physical, the healthy physical things, but this year think about looking into your emotional health and your mental health with accredited practitioner myself, Marie Freeman, and others around the world that might be able to get you embodied again, so that the physical body can be receiving and open and relaxed enough to receive that 100% energy that's pouring in from source, from your creator. That's your life force. And it's another thing to talk about the entities, so that you're not being siphoned in those places where you are disassociated, and when with those disassociations, made cracks in the aura where parasites can siphon in and drink from that that well of energy that you should be getting. So we can talk about entity release as well, and obviously parasite cleanse of the physical body as well. So have a think about that, and if you want to get in touch, we can have a conversation, and I look forward to hearing from you.